Hey babes, I'm back with another YouTube video, and today I have another set of acrylic toes. And here I'm just using my 5-in-1 coarse bit to file her previous acrylic down. Now y'all, the last time she got some acrylic toes, I kid you not, was probably over 2 months ago. And the rest of her toenails, she said she easily picked them off because they had grew out so much. It was pretty much at the literal end of her nail. So y'all, I'm not playing when I say that these acrylic toes last super long. Here I'm pushing my client's cuticles back, and if your client does have tougher cuticles, you may want to use cuticle softener or apply a little more pressure to move them back. I also finally got me some toe separators because before I was just using like the little paper towel, but I wanted to be a little professional, and I got these cute toe dividers from Amazon. So I'm going to link these down below as well as everything else. Now, using a fine sanding band, I will be going over my client's toenails to remove the shine. And for this nail, I did also kind of go over the acrylic just to flatten it out a little more at the top. So I did ask her, of course, like, how did she get the rest of the toenails off? Because I was kind of confused before she actually told me what she did. So I am going to let y'all listen to how the conversation went. How the hell did you get the other ones off?
Some of them just like came off, like they were like starting to lift a little bit, so I just went ahead and took them off. I didn't force it though, like if it felt like it was still.
How long was it?
It was a really long time. Like it was like for my smaller toes, since the nail's not that big. Once it got to the end, it was just like take it off. Yeah, because my toes only so long anyway.
Yeah.
But no, they last, girl.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's still some like on both feet.
Yes, y'all heard what she said. They do last a really long time, so I do recommend offering this as a service, especially because winter eventually gonna pass. Once summertime get here, everybody gonna want that nail and toe combo, so I suggest you start practicing now. After I reshaped her big toenail, I did go ahead and apply my dehydrator, and I'm also using my no lift primer. For the toes, I really don't use the Young Nails protein bond with the no lift primer like I normally do because the acrylic toes last super long without it.
I think she asked him what he was doing next week. He said, "Oh, I'm going to try to party." I'm like, "That's exactly what you get." Why didn't you want her to come? Because I have some fun. That's fine. That's it. I'm like, bro, it's too late for that now.
For today's video, once again, I will be using my Valentino Perfect Nude, and I do appreciate everybody in my previous video letting me know what other cover colors to try. I am also using a size 14 brush. I do recommend a smaller size if that's what you're comfortable with, but I personally don't mind the larger brush. So right here, I'm lightly just patting that acrylic into the cuticle area. You guys seen that I didn't really place it too close to the cuticle area as if it was a fingernail. So after that, I'm going to lightly start to bring this down. And if anything did spill over, I'll later go back to clean it up. After this, I'll be using the end of my cuticle pusher to remove any extra acrylic. And this toenail was already pretty square, so I didn't really have to make it square. But you do not have to put tips on toes in order to get a nice square look. You can use this method instead. And this way, if your client hits their toenail, the whole toenail don't come off. For this next nail, I'll be using the same method, and I do recommend to clean up the cuticle area before you go ahead and remove the rest of the acrylic with your cuticle pusher. This way that acrylic is already starting to set, and when you go in with your cuticle pusher, it's not too wet, because if it is, you're going to have to go back and fix that. Here I'm continuing to clean up the cuticle area like I said before I start to remove the rest of that acrylic. So I'm doing this very slowly, and I'm using the very tip of my brush so I don't remove too much acrylic in this area. On this nail, I did end up flooding the cuticle area, so like before, I am going to use the tip of my brush to clean that up before I start to go back in and make sure that the nail is perfect all over again. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I do need to get better at doing the pinky toenails, but everybody pinky toenail is just so much different. Like, everybody's just different. Some people have bigger ones, smaller ones, none. We spoke about this before, but here I'm using the same method, of course, for her pinky toenail, but I used a lot less acrylic. I also really didn't extend this one out too much because I didn't want it to break since her pinky toenail was already pretty small. Y'all, this looks super good. I really do like how these came out, and I did only need one bead since the rest of her toenail was already covered in acrylic. Here, once again, I'll be using my fine grit sanding band to seal the cuticle area as well as debulk the nails. But I really didn't use big beads as I was doing this, so I didn't have too much to go back and file down.
Like, I don't know if it's like a chemical body reaction that makes that shit happen or what, but yeah, but I know people that like, but she definitely used to be taking, I want to say, biotin for that shit. Yeah, that shit had me scared. I'm like, what the hell? Fish oil? Anyway, it was a pill of some sort. Yeah. It was one of those two. So I was just doing my research because I was like, I do feel like it's gonna be gone by then, but I'm like, I need to make sure this doesn't. Yeah, I just wanna, I don't know, that shit was just scary because I was sitting there, and I know my friend did get some, so I had called her because I know she had came over this one time, we was talking, I'm like, you don't want this, she's like, nah, I got to go for it, or whatever, but I was just like, oh, whatever. So I had called her like, bro, what the fuck do I do, blah, blah, and she was telling me and stuff, so I'm like, alright, whatever, cool, because I didn't feel no, she was like, you didn't feel it coming, I'm like, see, over 10 years ago. Over, girl, yeah, that's why I was like, what the hell? So, I was so hurt. I was like, mom, look. She's like, girl, please, whatever. I was like, bro, this party has to go high. And it most definitely is. And it will because I'm saying it will because fuck no. And I'm saying it will too. So, shit, it will. Ain't no other option at all. I'm so hyped. I want to show you my dress so bad. It's so cute. But I didn't show anybody it yet. It's cute. I got it from it was some last minute shit. You know, Fashion Nova shouldn't be 1, 2, 3 sometimes. But that time I got like 2 days.
After filing on top of the nails, I do go ahead and file underneath the nail as well to give it a more natural look.
Now, jeans, I've heard a lot of good shit about. I think I picked the wrong thing to order, but it looks so cute. I was like, damn, this shit is cute as fuck. But, oh well. And I got some like handcuffs from there. I never knew. This shit don't make no sense. I'm like, you don't need these. Like, what do you need those for? Bro, like, you're about to drive me crazy. Like, where's the energy? None. Like, now I'm being weird and you're telling me I'm peer pressuring you. Like, how do you, what? I wasn't even sure if that was the proper word, the proper terminology for that. Like, I'm peer pressuring you. Because you asked? Because I asked. I didn't say, yo, fuck me like this. Or else. And you didn't say, or else. You didn't just beg for shit to go the fuck. I asked you respectfully. I mentioned it to you. And that's what you fucking said. That girl said, we don't have to have sex at all. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cheat. She said that?
Like, you're wildin'. That's on you, bro. That shit is wild.
No, then I got a huge problem having to tell somebody what the fuck they gotta do to me, bro. Like,
Me too. I actually really don't like that.
Cause that shit's annoying. Why don't you just do some shit?
Do it.
In the conversations that we've had, you should have been able to gauge like what it is I don't like, and of course it comes up in conversation, so you gonna know what I like and don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Or and if you want to try some shit, then try some shit, and if we don't like that shit, we won't do it
Then
again.
that's that. Yeah, like it didn't have to be anything more or anything less. Like, but she just wasn't open, I guess. So for her to text me like, oh, I'm so sorry for anything I did. That shouldn't make no sense to me. Like, she really had me thinking I was crazy. Like, you lying to me about everything. Like, I thought I was crazy. I really thought I was going crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not tripping. This bitch is lying about everything. Like, that shit is bad. You know what I miss Cash. I was thinking that. I don't be telling nobody. I still got.
It don't even matter. That's why I'm like, is he skinny? No, he wasn't skinny. He wasn't fat. He was, you know, yeah, like he had some eyes on him. Like, you were always like, oh, tall me do this and that. All the niggas over 6 feet that I fuck with had small dick. All of them. It wasn't like small. But like, let's see, I fucked with that 1'6" boy 6'4" nigga, one of my exes, and then Trey. And see, look, the 6'4" nigga was muscular, like, and wow. His shit was like this. Trey shit about like this. The short nigga, that's the dude that's gonna be living with me actually, because he is gonna.
After shaping these nails, I will also be buffing them, and I wanted to let y'all know that I will start to leave the prep part of my application videos in the nail videos, because I was watching other nail techs, you know, just trying to collect ideas, and I'll be like, okay, how she shaped those? And then I'm like, okay, maybe my subscribers feel like that too. Yeah, I'm sorry, like my prep will definitely be in later videos. The only reason why I wasn't including it was, you know, cut back on time, but if you guys don't mind the longer videos, I'll definitely leave that in there.
What they've done and what has worked, and that's what they do. But with somebody who's got more experience, they probably try some different shit. And they're not scared. I mean, it's definitely timid. Best to venture out, because I know I definitely like you, I'm not okay. But maybe that's not to say that's what he needs to do. Not to say that at all, but I was about to say this whole time of us not talking was so he could like go, you know, like, go fuck somebody else. Like, just go do something, which he did when he was working his other job, got more family, he was talking to other people. Yeah. He was just always like, that shit was just lame. Like, I'm not about to sit here and do this shit and get somebody fucking hooked on me, bro, when I know deep down I'm trying to come back to you regardless. Like, that's why you keep it a stack with them. You let them know what it is. So they don't get a point. Yeah. He's like, I don't have any want or need to go fuck.
Alright guys, so before I actually started to use my gel polish, I did go ahead and paint these nails with top coat, my gel D&D top coat. So here I'm using a gel liner. I just had poured some of it out so I could use my smaller brush, and I'll be creating my French tip. Yeah, now I may not be the best at drawing these French tips, but I really did like them. Like, I felt like they came out really cute. Of course, at the end, I am going to show you guys how they turned out. But I did try to start with the corner, and I'm not really too sure how to explain it. But when I get better at doing this and I find a better method that works for me, of course, I will teach you guys. But in the meantime, I'm still going to bring y'all on my little journey. I did also flash cure the nails as I was going, just to make sure my finger didn't touch anything or her toes didn't touch by mistake. I really did want the design to be perfect. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video.
Respect, yo, she's funny as fuck. We were just talking about my party last year. She was talking about all them girls texting the chat and sending you know, their pictures. Yeah, that was. I thought about that too. I'm like, all these people talking to each other and shit. But I'm seeing good though. She's good. That's why I didn't personally send out the invitation this year. I'm like, if you ask me for it, you'll get it. But if you didn't ask, then you didn't get it.